One of the ways that Donald Trump, who you now support, has said that he would tackle those problems is by putting a temporary ban on Muslims entering America. You yourself are a Muslim. That would mean that you would be prevented from travelling to America if if the person that you vote for becomes president. How do you feel about that?
It's just as difficult even now, going through security checks, getting on the plane and so, it's difficult for everybody. And I think that in the United States and whichever country you name it has rules and regulations and laws. They don't just stop people, They look at somebody, and if you look like somebody who's dangerous, and they'll act accordingly. I don't think it's a blanket thing. And the statement was just a response or a reaction to the events that are happening right now. I'm a Muslim, yes, but I don't condone the shooting and killing of innocent people in the name of Islam. And so it makes it difficult for me, and it makes it difficult for everybody else, including law-abiding Muslims. So I don't know if it is something that I would say that, here in Kenya, we are closing down the Dadaab refugee camp because of the violence and the shootings and killings here in Kenya. Anybody in their right mind would react accordingly and put up whatever measures that is necessary.
Okay. Malik, let me ask you, how often do you speak to your brother? Now he's been at the White House, can you just turn up and see him, or do you have to book an appointment? How does it work?
And no, I have to book an appointment. I have to send a request and tell him that, there's some lady who I go through, or some person, and I send a request and I say I'd like to see him. So I wait, and like how I had asked to, I wanted to see him back in what is it now? This is July. Back in June, sometime in June, around the 15th. And I haven't gotten a response up until now. So usually it's like that, I send a message and I say, I'd like to see my brother, and it depends on if there's an opening or not.
Well, it might depend on how many of these interviews he's been watching, where you basically hammer him for being not very successful and say you're going to support Donald Trump. Maybe he's watching these and thinking, I can't let Malik back in here for a bit.
Well, I can imagine, he probably is watching and so forth. But like I say, Donald Trump, when I sat there and I saw that announcement by the FBI director, and in my mind I just said, this is just a farce, something really going on here that I don't like. And Donald Trump, he speaks from his mind, and he's straightforward, and he parades his family. If right now at the convention, the Democratic convention, you don't see any Obama there. You don't see, even if it's not me, I don't see my grandmother there. I don't see my sister there. I don't see any Obama there, from Kenya or in Africa. So I'm saying to myself, this doesn't add up. Not really. I'm his elder brother, so, I tell him this stuff when we meet, that he's got to be bold. And when he was running for election, it was his showpiece. It was his trump card.
And the fact that was a great job. Malik, final question. When you're with the President of the United States, who happens to be your half-brother, and you're telling him what for and giving him your advice, how does he react? Does he listen to you?
My brother, he's got this attitude, he's the President of the United States,
Well, he is, Malik.
He's made it, he's up there. Okay, I understand. So I'm just expressing my opinion. Yeah. What I think and how I feel.
Does it slightly annoy you, Malik? Does it slightly annoy you that your younger brother became President of the United States? Do you feel like maybe you should be a world leader and not him?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but the thing is that when you think about it, you know, the Republican Party is the party of Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. He freed the black man. And that's his party. And when you think about the Republican Party, you know, George W. Bush came to the assistance and the aid of my aunt, Auntie Zaituni. When she was having a hard time, they were about to deport her. They were going to deport her because she was represented badly in her case. And he issued an executive order stopping it and reopening the case. Now, why shouldn't I support, you know, the people who are supporting me and helping me?
Very good point.
We have to, unfortunately, we have to leave it there. I could talk to you for hours. I think you're fascinating. And I love the fact the Obamas are so independent-minded of spirit and voice. And I like the idea of you being in the White House telling Barack what to do. So we appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much indeed. And obviously, you and I both competed Celebrity Apprentice. I won, and you didn't. You did. We'll just say that for the record. But to be serious, we both got a great insight into what Trump is like in those long boardroom sessions. And I know that at the time you were pretty impressed by him